Let's set off on a voyage through a significant chapter in American history as we uncover the gripping story of the Watergate scandal. The Watergate scandal stands as one of the most significant events in modern American history. It all started in 1972 with a break-in at the Democratic National Committee, DNC headquarters. What seemed like a typical burglary soon revealed deeper connections to the committee to re-elect the president, CRPE, also known as CREP. This link to President Richard Nixon's re-election campaign sparked concerns of political espionage and shady motives, turning a seemingly ordinary break-in into a serious threat to the democratic process. In the 1972 presidential election, Richard Nixon faced off against Senator George McGovern in a bid for re-election. Nixon's campaign painted him as a steady and accomplished leader, highlighting his successes in foreign affairs. On the other side, McGovern rallied for ending the Vietnam War and promoting progressive ideals. Despite McGovern's efforts, Nixon clinched a landslide victory, winning over 60% of the popular vote and carrying 49 states. However, Nixon's triumph was clouded by the looming shadow of the Watergate scandal. As the investigation unfolded, it became clear that the Watergate break-in was not just a random occurrence. Instead, it was part of a larger scheme orchestrated by certain members of the Nixon administration. The evidence revealed a series of covert actions designed to sabotage Nixon's political rivals and sway public opinion in his favor. As investigators dug deeper into the Watergate scandal, they unraveled a complex network of ties linking the burglars, CRP members, and top officials in Nixon's administration. Their investigation revealed hidden funds that fueled unlawful endeavors, such as paying off individuals to keep quiet and bankrolling spy missions aimed at undermining political rivals. Furthermore, the investigation revealed attempts by Nixon's inner circle to cover up their involvement in the Watergate break-in and subsequent illegal activities. This included efforts to obstruct justice by withholding crucial evidence, tampering with witnesses, and pressuring law enforcement officials to drop the case. As the scandal unfolded, public anger surged. The investigation into Watergate allowed the public to learn about the web of corruption that reached the highest levels of government. This resulted in the prosecution of several key figures, including top White House aides and members of the CRP. The indictments, trials, and convictions that followed captured the nation's attention and revealed the extent of the wrongdoing. The revelations uncovered during the investigation exposed the extent of corruption and abuse of power within the Nixon administration, shaking the foundations of American democracy. In August 1974, with the threat of impeachment looming over him, President Nixon felt the weight of mounting pressure. The evidence linking him to the Watergate scandal had become undeniable, leaving him with little room to maneuver. Confronted with the prospect of a prolonged and divisive trial that would only deepen the nation's divisions, Nixon made the unprecedented choice to step down from his position as president. In the world of politics, key figures beyond Nixon were implicated, including G. Gordon Liddy, a former FBI agent, E. Howard Hunt, a seasoned CIA operative turned White House consultant, John Ayer Leishman, Nixon's chief domestic advisor, H.R. Haldeman, his loyal chief of staff, and John Dean, the White House counsel. Together, they orchestrated a secretive operation to ensure Nixon's re-election, culminating in a cover-up that was eventually exposed by investigative journalists Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein. Nixon's resignation marked a historic moment in American politics as he became the first president in U.S. history to step down from the presidency. His resignation speech, delivered on August 8, 1974, was a somber acknowledgement of his wrongdoing and a farewell to the American people. Following Nixon's resignation, Vice President Gerald Ford assumed the presidency, inheriting a nation in turmoil and deeply divided by the Watergate scandal. In an effort to heal the wounds of the nation and move forward, Ford made the controversial decision to grant Nixon a full and unconditional pardon for any crimes he may have committed while in office. The pardon sparked widespread debate and controversy, with critics arguing that it undermined accountability and justice. However, Ford defended his decision as a necessary step to bring closure to the Watergate era and allow the country to focus on addressing pressing issues facing the nation. The Watergate scandal had a lasting impact on American politics, leading to significant reforms and changing public perceptions of government integrity. Following Watergate, Congress passed several laws to limit executive power and increase government transparency. One major consequence of Watergate was a closer examination of presidential authority. The scandal revealed the potential for abuse of power at the highest levels, prompting calls for greater accountability and checks on executive actions. This led to significant legal changes, including the Ethics in Government Act of 1978, which set rules and financial disclosure requirements for officials. Additionally, the Federal Election Campaign Act amendments of 1974 imposed stricter regulations on campaign financing and established the Federal Election Commission. The scandal also prompted the War Powers Act of 1973, limiting the president's ability to deploy military forces without congressional approval. These reforms aimed to improve transparency, accountability, and the balance of power between branches of government. Perhaps most significantly, the Watergate scandal eroded public trust in the government and its institutions. The exposure of widespread corruption and deceit at the highest levels of government shattered the perception of elected officials as trustworthy stewards of the public good. This loss of confidence in government institutions reverberated for years to come, fueling cynicism and skepticism among the American public. Overall, the Watergate scandal remains one of the most infamous and consequential political scandals in American history, serving as a stark reminder of the fragility of democracy and the importance of holding elected officials accountable for their actions. Thanks for joining us as we uncovered the twists and turns of the Watergate scandal. Don't forget to show your support by liking and subscribing to our channel. Stay tuned for more fascinating tales from history and beyond.